What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and boy, this is probably the absolute best. You're going to want to leave a like on this video. This is the best get woke, go broke scenario that I think we've ever seen. Like, I'm dead serious that we have ever seen. This is the behemoth. When you think about woke companies and companies that, are the wokest out there, who do you think of? Nike, the NFL, but like NFL has scaled it back, Nike scaled it back, but Ben and Jerry's has consistently virtue signaled and continually stuck to their guns saying that this is working. Americans want political ice cream. Americans want us to say that America was built on stolen land, even though our headquarters were built on stolen land. America wants this. Well, Unilever just fired their CEO with the explicit reason as being too political. Are you tired of winning yet? By the way, last time I'll mention it this week, really trying to build up some funds to build a new studio. So many of you have my Tailgates for Trump hilarious meme cookbook. We're rolling out a brand new one that's going to have close to 100 cocktail mocktails, hot cocoa, and tea, all types of drinks for people. They're all going to be fully meme-tastic. The pre-order is going on right now. I hope that you'll pick one up. The money goes towards us building a new studio, so you'll get to see even more of my beautiful, beautiful face. We could bring guests on. I'm doing some with Scott Pressler this week, I think, on Thursday. Right now, I just have nowhere to host people and have it look somewhat decent, so that should be all right. So check that out, link in the description. Ben & Jerry's super woke CEO fired by fed up parent company after years of liberal lunacy. Ben & Jerry's infamously woke CEO has been fired by the ice cream company's fed up parent company Unilever. David Stever was booted March 3rd after Unilever bosses grew tired of Ben & Jerry's advocating for divisive progressive causes like Black Lives Matter, DEI, defunding the police, and Palestinian rights. Ben & Jerry's remaining bosses have now filed a lawsuit accusing the parent company for firing Stever for his political activism. Well, his political activism is what tanked the sales. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, look, I got to be honest, even as a fat, I'm not a Ben & Jerry's guy. I'm the type of guy that gets that big jug, the big gallon jug with the plastic handle. That's how I buy my ice cream. And I scoop it out of there and I eat it right out of there in the middle of the night when I tell my wife I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. I don't buy $7 for a little tiny thing of ice cream. The suit now claims executives kept Ben & Jerry's from issuing support for Palestinian Columbia University student Mahmoud Khalil. By the way, why isn't he deported yet? Who was arrested after leading anti-Israel encampment to school. No, he was passing out pro-Hamas materials, storming buildings, assaulting police officers, and trespassing, just among the few things, okay? Ben & Jerry's had planned to take the Trump administration to task on a minimum wage, universal health care, abortion, and climate change per the suit. The parent company also allegedly prevented the ice cream company from issuing posts celebrating Black History Month and against Israel in the conflict of the war in Gaza. I mean, this is so spectacular. So first of all, I just love the fact that the company up until now has basically said no more politics. Now, why do we think, let's put our thinking caps on, okay? Why do we think a parent company might say, hey, we don't like you doing this? Do you think they fired him because of his political activism increased or decreased sales of $7 per pint ice cream? Let us think for just a moment. Oh, that's right. Of course, it cratered their sales. Quote, when the matter was escalated to me, I expressed concerns about the continued perception of anti-Semitism and the persistent issue, said Peter Peter Turkulvi, I don't know, Unilever's president of ice cream. Ben & Jerry's board chairwoman said she was disturbed by his false equivalency and asked Cool for data to support his opinion. Of course, who can forget their Colin Kaepernick flavored change the world, apparently. Okay. Vital, who also runs a progressive think tank in Oakland Institute, shared a number of posts announcing Israel in the aftermath of October 7th. By the way, I don't care if you're like a regular person and you work at the company and like that's what you want to do on your personal account. Now, people are going to react a certain way to that, especially when you're the CEO or the president or whatever. But like, you have, that right. I truly, now I have a right to say, I don't want to give you my money. Okay. But like, he has the right to do whatever, protesting he wants to do. But that's not what they did. They used the official Ben & Jerry's account for activism, and people didn't like it. And who would have thunk that people who are paying $7 a pint for ice cream could possibly be conservative? Ben & Jerry's, though an incredibly popular brand worldwide, has created political problems for Unilever in recent years as the brand's independent board tied itself to progressive stances that alienate sects of its Coomer base. Ice Coomer base. Founders Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenwood created the brand in Vermont in 1978. The pair were longtime supporters of Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders, who represents their home state of Vermont, and created multiple flavors to support his campaign after they sold the company in 2008 for $236 million. Ben & Jerry's has continued to push its woke agenda under CEO Sturver, having partnered with the likes of Stephen Colbert, Colin Kaepernick, Megan Rapinoe, and the Squad Congresswoman Cori Bush. None of these people sell ice cream. Just in case you're wondering, like, you might be wondering, like, hey, do these people sell ice cream? Is this going to, like, help us sell ice cream? No, it doesn't actually. All these people make your brand toxic, right? In 2022, Unilever and the brand got into a legal fight after the corporation sold its Ben & Jerry's operation in Israel, a move that came after the independent American board said it publicly that would halt the sale of its products in Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Ben & Jerry's has also infamously celebrated July 4th by declaring the country should return its land to native tribes from whom which it originally stole. Well, remember when they got real quiet? They got real quiet when it got pointed out that their headquarters was on the same original, stolen land of some local Indian tribe. Just so you know, they didn't give it back, in case you were curious. All are considerably less controversial, with Unilever planning to create a standalone ice cream business in the near future. In September of 2021, Ben & Jerry's debuted its Defund the Police flavor in support of a $10 billion bill by Representative Cori Bush that would replace police officers with social workers and the first responders in incidents of mental health and substance abuse. That never happened, by the way. Last month, founders Ben & Jerry reportedly started looking on how to buy back their namesake brand from Unilever. Many companies have rolled back DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or appeared to defend deference towards Trump since he began his second White House term. Unilever has been publicly locked in a battle with business. I mean, this is just great. The BBC, Ben & Jerry's boss fired over political activism. Ben & Jerry accuses Unilever of firing its CEO for political reasons. Well, yeah, it was political reasons. Is there actually anyone who doesn't think that or know that? Is there anybody on the planet out there somewhere that thinks that he wasn't fired because they turned a $9, $7 a pint ice cream company into a political campaign? Does anybody actually think that? I mean, is that up for debate here? Who could forget? Ben & Jerry's. The U.S. was founded on stolen indigenous land. You go to their website, and it's full of far leftoid activism stuff. Now, a lot less nowadays, obviously, since they probably got told to chill out. Every kid has the right to hug their parents. Tell jails to reinstate in-person visits. Saying I love you shouldn't cost anything inside the overworld price of prison phone calls. Actually, I had a friend that got rich like selling phone cards for prisoners. I don't know. There definitely seems to be some sort of racket for that. Again, there's nothing wrong with a company backing political stuff. You know, you have to understand that people are going to feel a certain way about it. You know, that's why I literally founded Coffee Brand Coffee. I called it Coffee Brand Coffee, not Liberal Tears Coffee. I think I could have sold it better if it was about poning the libs. But like, I wanted to focus on doing, I wanted to focus on putting out a good quality product that people didn't feel like they had to sign up for some political nonsense to get. But Ben & Jerry's forgot about that. I mean, you see this Ben & Jerry's slam for saying U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land. You see this. Let's see how this tweet goes. Remember when they tweeted this? 53,000 replies to 12,000 likes. Give all of your property and land back to the Native Americans right now or shut up. Get back to shilling overpriced ice cream. Sounds like it's time for Ben & Jerry's to donate 100% of their profits to indigenous people. Become a nonprofit. You make people fat. Here you have, despite Ben & Jerry's supposed commitment to, this is a community note, to returning land they feel was stolen, they've yet to reach out to the tribe whose land their headquarters is on and arrange the return of the land to them. You absolutely love to see it. Don't forget to pre-order Mega Mixology. Help me build a new studio. It would be absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.